Politics, cultural exchange, social life and ecological issues. These are only few areas where international organizations implement their projects. They cooperate with public and private partners, and preserving peace for future generation is their principal goal. How do they arrange their work? What role is given to Kazakhstani initiatives? You'll find more on this in Kazakhstan International Vectors. The international organizations are the ones which make governments and local authorities be concerned about the situation. The promotion of safe behavior among drivers is one of the goals and priorities of any organization in any country. The world's first traffic regulations were developed as early as in the 50s BC by Julius Caesar. In those times, on some of the streets of the ancient Rome, it was allowed to move only in one direction. At night-time, horse-drawn carriages were prohibited to enter the city. These decrees had laid the foundation of the traffic rules adopted in European countries in 1909. The first traffic light was installed near the British Parliament in London in 1868. The inventor is John Pick Knight. The device was manhandled and had two arrows which informed road users whether they should stop or move. At night, special gas lanterns of two colors, red and green, were used. However, a year later, that mechanical device has broken down. New traffic light signal appeared only 50 years later. London, the year 1896. Automobile companies launched a promotion campaign suggesting everybody to travel around in a new car free of charge. One of the participants who exceeded the speed limits knocked and killed a pedestrian who in his turns was crossing the street in a wrong place. It became the world's first road accident. The driver was not punished as all the blame was shuffled on the inattentive foot passenger. Since then, the traffic code was modified and amended many times. Nevertheless, the number of deadly road accidents is still growing, along with the global car fleet. WHO reports that more than 1 million of people die in traffic accidents and another 50 million get injured. By 2030, motor vehicle crashes are expected to become the fifth principal mortality factor in the world if the situation does not change. 4 years ago, the UN, together with WHO, launched a major project called the Decade of Action for Road Safety. This program was supported by many countries, international organizations and philanthropists. The last ones donated hundreds of millions of dollars, which were invested in strengthening the rules and professional advancement of traffic policemen. Special attention is given to effective assistance to road accident victims. Along with that, a number of organizations are realizing their own traffic projects in some countries. So what are the rules of such a work, and when roads all over the world will become safe? Sweden has the safest roads. The program Vision Zero, aimed at complete extermination of road traffic death, was developed and adopted in the country some time ago. It resulted in separation of traffic flows on domestic highways. More than 12,000 crosswalks and new 2+1 type roads were built. These 3-lane motorways changed the number of lanes in each direction from 2 to 1 and vice versa after each several kilometers. These measures made it possible to reduce the mortality rate and the number of accidents several times, specialists say. While driving a car, you should keep your back straight. Now you put the middle part of your palm on the upper part of the driving wheel. Your arm should not be straight but half bent. So when you handle the driving wheel, your arms work as shock absorbers. This is considered to be the right way of how to drive a car. This program is focused on enhancing of driving skills, Vasily says. The plans of his colleagues also include making such lessons compulsory for obtaining a driving license, as well as to teach them at senior schools. We shall teach young people the culture of driving, traffic rules and safe driving. For sure, after graduating the school, their parents will think about buying them a car, and we, in our turn, shall prepare them for that. In the meantime, experts have calculated that a good driver should master 10 types of skills. 7 of them are related with the attention control. Thus, a research conducted in Kazakhstan has shown that in most of cases, young people get distracted by the phone calls. The most recent researchers have shown that 75% of drivers in Kazakhstan are usually distracted by phone calls and 14% by texting messages. 8% more lose concentration during conversations with passengers and 10% during smoking. Experts from all over the world call the fact of non-observance of elementary rules the main cause of road accidents. Among them are exceeding of speed limits as well as neglecting of special child seats, safety belts and helms. The international statistics shows that only 15% of countries can boast with disciplined drivers. At the same time, it should be mentioned that economic losses amounting to billions of euros set out the need of safe and sustainable traffic in the Eastern Alliance. The basic strategy for EEAST is to make the road safety a priority for the governments in order to make them understand that high traffic mortality rate entails major economic losses. Eastern Alliance for Safe and Sustainable Transport is an independent charitable organization. It was founded in 2010 in London, the UK, and since then closely cooperates with 10 countries in Eastern Europe, South Caucasus and Central Asia. The association implements its activities via different non-governmental organizations. Experts help to find out and transfer an appropriate international expertise to a certain state. The goal of the organization is to unite non-governmental organizations which have a successful experience in their countries, as well as new organizations which appear during our work, in order to give them more experience and the impetus for further development. An unusual tendency has been noticed by the experts throughout the world. The fewer vehicles are concentrated in a region, the higher is the number of traffic-related deaths. It is explained by the underdevelopment of road infrastructure and obsolete car fleet. Thus, Namibia, a sparsely populated country in southwest of Africa, has the highest road mortality rate, 45 victims per 100,000 people. Infrastructural and technical issues in the developing countries are given lower priority. Specialists call an elementary driver's incompetence as one of the principal causes of car crashes in such states. Everybody should remember that the number of people with knowledge of traffic rules is unfortunately reducing. The organization's representatives are confident that stronger punishments for traffic rules violation will be among the most efficient strategies in the battle with the aggravating problem. The experience of foreign countries is cited as an example. Thus, in some states of the US, parking a car in a wrong place and late payment of fines can result in imprisonment. Monetary penalties in Europe also bring a lot of benefits. For instance, exceeding speed limits entails very high fines. For many countries, high fines are perhaps the only measure which can establish an order and to some extent settle traffic problems. Germany demonstrates a very high culture of driving because people there know very well that parking a car in a wrong way and in a wrong place will be punished anyway. The organization is developing projects for road construction control. The fact is that a quarter of traffic accidents happen due to a low-quality road pavement, and from the total number of victims, 15% are children. Major projects in different parts of the globe are being implemented thanks to international organizations. And as for our country, here we can realize a project for road construction control. I think you have heard about such projects as saving of children's lives or various ecological projects with the participation of our famous singers. In the early 20th century, the mass installation of traffic signs began in many European countries. However, their meaning and colors varied. Later, the development of international road transportation system raised the strong need to create an integrated sign system. And it was introduced in 1909 in Paris, when the International Convention on Motor Traffic was adopted.
Это основной документ, который бы упростил.
This is the basic document which has facilitated traveling of any person from one country to another. All the countries have different ways of driving behavior and necessary documents. Of course, the freedom of movement is one of the principal points in the constitution of any country, and it was the main purpose for the development of this convention. The development of the automobile industry and the growing number of cars required major modifications and amendments of that document, specialists say. Because of that, the UN Economic Commission for Europe worked out the Convention of Road Traffic and the Protocol on Road Signs and Signals. Since then, the single convenient traffic regulation system has been introduced on all the roads around the world, and it is being developed till the present day. Road safety has become one of the topical issues in the European region. It resulted in the establishment of the Eastern Alliance for Safe and Sustainable Transport under the auspices of a British lord. It is included into the Commission of Global International Movement for Road Safety and encourages non-governmental organizations in CIS countries towards cooperation. Nowadays, the main task of the Eastern Alliance is to reduce traffic mortality rate throughout the world. Thus, owing to the organization of some events and legislation amendments, last year the number of road accidents in Kazakhstan has decreased by 15%. We work on improving of road safety by means of promotion of the driving culture. We talk to violators instead of imposing fines and monitor traffic situation. We conduct preventive talks trying to understand the reason why people can violate the traffic rules so easily. The organization's workers are sure that the culture of driving behavior should be imparted from school. Indeed, about 500 children daily die in traffic accidents, and the same number is getting injured. Along with teaching materials, the organization representatives also distribute retro-reflecting devices among children. We show them certain competitions, programs and cartoons about traffic safety. We also implement the project Safe Way to School, Safe Way Home upon the initiative of the United Nations. The year 2015 was announced as the International Year of Saving Kids' Lives. Therefore, we are seeking for money and buy retro-reflecting bracelets from our partners. This year we have purchased 10,000 bracelets. Currently, the organization pays much attention to the creation of uniform traffic rules in the territory of its member countries. The European experience has served here as an example. Drivers of EU countries obey the uniform norms, which have a powerful effect upon the traffic safety. The rules are similar in the entire Europe, where there is a freedom of movement. For example, in Italy to France, the traffic rules are identical, but here there are some differences, for example, between Kazakhstan and Russia. One more challenge for the organization is to find out the drawback on roads of its member countries. For this purpose, a special project safety vehicle has been developed. The project Safety Vehicle has been launched on behalf of the association. We travel across the city identifying various weaknesses, such as the absence of road signs, crosswalks leading to irrigation ditches, road pits and so on. We monitor the situation in order to demonstrate our citizens that this problem can be both revealed and solved. Some unusual standards of traffic behavior can be observed in a number of countries. Thus, for example, in Germany, it is prohibited for drivers to demonstrate their emotions. Showing your tongue or fist or shaking with your arm band at the elbow will entail a fine of at least 200 euros. In the meantime, traffic police workers in South Korea are entitled to take money rewards on condition that later they will present a full report on how much and where they were received.